Hello everybody. I've had a pretty good last couple weeks. This week, or last Saturday I guess it was, we were making cupcakes, so I got inspired to make more cupcakes. So let's mix some. Oh, it feels good to be back on the torch again. It snowed last night and this morning. It's pretty outside. Make sure you can see my torch okay. I have, for glass, I'm using 104 for my glass peeps. I have white and a light pink. And I've got a didymium lens on so you can see better in the flame. And then I have my sprinkles, red, blue, yellow, and green. It's hard for me the way my camera's angled to see who's there. Hi Martha, hi Brenda. So I'm going to start off making the little cupcake part. Oh, let me get this back again. The bottom part, and then I'll add the white part, and then the little paper ripply and the sprinkles. I'm on a minor torch with an oxygen concentrator. And I guess, again, 104 glass. Get my mandrel going here. I need to find a way to make those bigger. My comment's bigger. Anyway, pretty fun and easy project. Looks like I will be starting to teach some lamp working classes here at the lake again this year. I'm looking forward to that. Pretty awesome. Okay, let's get the glass going. My rod's hot. It's got a release on it, which is kind of like a clay slip so that the glass doesn't stick to the stainless steel rod. And I'm just going to start adding a little row of glass. A little bit more. However big I want the cupcake to be. Lightly roll it on my marver here so that I can get it nice and round. Okay, it's got a good base going. Now I'm going to build it up. I want my base bead, or any bead that I make, to be about twice as thick as what the mandrel is. If it's any thinner than that, it's going to crack. So if you're new to glass working, that's a good little tip for you. And you want to let the torch work the glass. You don't want to push it at all. Otherwise it'll break the release from the mandrel. And you basically throw it in the trash and start over. It's pretty out there today. Sorry that you can't see me, but I think it's more important that you see the torch and the flames. I'm holding the mandrel in my left hand, using my right hand to guide the glass. Alrighty. Very gently I'm shaping it up. So I've got just a nice little barrel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to warm it up, and I have a little, dust it off here, heat sink. Yeah, from a computer. That's what those are used for. So I'm going to warm the surface of this up, get it pliable, and then as I roll it along my heat sink, chink, 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 sound effects help, it puts in the little grooves, the little cupcake waffly things. Alright, now with my white. White's going to be my white frosting. You can use any color frosting, I guess. I prefer white. Keep my bead warm and I keep it moving. So if you want to get into lamp working, get yourself a skewer or something and sit and watch TV, and just all day long, all night long, whatever, just sit and turn a mandrel. Just sit and spin it away from you. Because as you're working in lamp working, you have to always keep that bead moving, and you always have to keep it warm in the flame. So one of the great muscle memory things that you can do to get started in the lamp working is just sitting and getting used to holding it level, like that. And keep it turning. Sorry, somebody just sent me a message and I can't read it. Anyway, I'll get back with you, whoever you are. Alright, now I'm going to put the cupcake icing right next to the pink. Build that up a little bit, however tall I want it to be. I find it looks best when it's about just a little shorter maybe than the cupcake paper itself, the pink part in my case. Okay. Notice now that I'm holding the white rod in the flame, so it's getting soft, turning the mandrel underneath it. I want to keep the pink side warm, but I don't want it to get hot because I don't want to lose my little indentations that I made earlier. I can let gravity kind of force this into a shape, or I can marver it really carefully and lightly. I don't want to disturb it too much. If you notice, I don't know if you can see this or not, when you're working with white, it goes clear. So you know it's hot when it turns clear. There we go. Alright, let's get this shaped up. Sorry for my little notifications going off there in the background. Alright. I think once this melts down into a nice ball, it's going to be just about right. Now I use gravity. If it's not quite level, I just hold it in the air for a second, and gravity will let it loop and droop. Alright, so here we are so far. Now I'm going to add some sprinkles. I'm using a stringer. These are pre-made. I get my glass mostly from France Art Glass. So these are already pulled thin. And I'm just going to touch and dab and add some sprinkles. Ooh, snip. And some yellow. You'll notice that yellow, when it's hot, turns red. Most things will either go clear or red. And let's do some blue. So you can see when red is hot, it turns black, but those will turn back red when they cool off. Some blue sprinkles. And let's see, maybe one there, one there, more there. And I also finish, I don't know if you can see, it's hard to see my screen right now. I finish off my rod so it's ready to go for the next time. I don't have a little scorpion tail on it. Let me find a scorpion tail. Like that. Try not to do that. Alright, some green sprinkles. I also, my clamps that hold my torch down, a lot of times I use these as an armrest, so I can get steady with it if I want. Let me get that big snap. That's what happens when you let it get cold. Let's see if we can fix this. Maybe, maybe not. And the joys of live TV. Nope, I'm not going to be able to fix this. I may have to go back and patch it. Oh, yes, I can. Great thing about glass, it's recyclable. What I'm using here is they're welding rod tips. Can't think of what they're made out of, but heat doesn't affect them. Bought them off of eBay. Titanium? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to heat that a little bit more, but you can see that I can melt that back in together. So let's get it done. One of my favorite tools in the whole world. Got it at Harbor Freight in one of those little stainless steel packs. It comes with like 10 different things. So let's get this melted in. Use this end. Okay, melt it in. Da-da-da, but I need to put the grooves back in. I'll just use this. I could use an X-Acto knife. I could use my Perry knife, my favorite knife in the whole world, right there. Just kind of cutting those grooves in. Alright, where was I? Green sprinkles. Alright. Saved. Then I'm going to take a small stringer, warm the tip of it up a little bit, put in my little ruffle for my cup. Ready? Like that. And I've got these really small, thin tweezers, and getting that nice and warm and soft at an angle, about a 45-degree angle. I'm taking and I'm just pinching it. So I'm going to spot heat and pinch, spot heat and pinch. A lot of working with the flame is reading the glass and using the heat. So this is what turns out, that little ruffle. Okay. Give it one more good final warm up. My base just a little bit more. Square it off a little bit. And there's a little cupcake with sprinkles on top. Throw it into my kiln, which is sitting right behind me, and that will anneal. I've got it going for 8 hours right now, so when I'm done with everything, let them sit in there. Alright, well, since we're on sweets, what do you think? Shall we make an ice cream cone? It's been a couple years since I've made an ice cream cone. So let's first gather the glass. Chocolate. Let's see. I think I'll use dark ivory for the cone. And chocolate, ice cream cone, baked, I guess. Looking for a nice brown ice cream cone. I guess this one. Does that look like chocolate? Here it is again. Alright. This is pretty opaque, pretty thick, so chances are it's going to snap when I go to warm it up. And because this is a brand new rod, see that? I want to get rid of that first initial cut because it'll scum on me. Change hands if that's easier for you to see. So I'm just going to take that, my second most often used tool here, tweezers. I'm going to pull that off, throw that in some water, a jug of water I've got sitting right there. There. Now I've got a nice end to start with. And this one's kind of like a saddle brown. And you can see that it turns red when it's hot. Like I said, it'll either go red, black, or clear. Alright, so that one's ready to go. Let's get a mandrel. Get my mandrel hot so it doesn't stick. Who else has seen me? Hey, Julia, Martha, Julia, Judy. Hi, Judy. Had a very good week. Successful for the most part. Like I said, it feels so good to be back on the torch again. I want to give a shout out to all of my friends and peoples that have been with me for the last couple months, supporting me, keeping me strong. I really want to do a post and list everybody that has been so wonderful to me through my transition. Now again, this is opaque. This is dark ivory 104. I don't know if you can see that. Opaques a lot of times get shocky, so if you see little pieces flying off, it's pretty temperamental to the flame, like that. And that's why we wear either aprons or cotton, and that's why my hands look the way they do sometimes, because every once in a while you get a little piece of glass embedded in you. It's all part of the game. Okay, there's a nice little bead. And what I like to do is I like to determine how big I want my cone in this case to be, and then I fill in. If I start singing bluegrass, I'm usually playing bluegrass while I'm working on the torch, so gently rub it on my marver here. And again, like I said before, you want your base to be, or your bead to be, at least twice as big as your mandrel. I'm using 3/32 mandrels. I like these add a bead type of beads. It unscrews and I can change the bead on it, and those require a fairly big hole, so I use the 3/32, and the mandrels are a lot stronger. Okay, now I'm just going to add a glass, and because this is going to be an ice cream cone, I want to make it a triangle. Just going to build glass up, marver it. Oh gosh, when this glass is hot, I don't know if you can see that or not, it looks like caramel. Makes me want like to go get ice cream with caramel on top. Yummy. Alright. Again, I'm holding the bead down below because I want it more solid, and I'm adding glass. The rod is in the heat, And I'm turning my mandrel away from me. Oh look, I made a mushroom. Ah, not for long. Okay, and again, I always finish my rod off so it's ready to use on the next time. Okay, let's turn this into a triangle. I've got a little handheld paddle here. And I'm just going to roll it. Even out the bottom. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I really can't see comments right now. Might help if I put glasses on, but I'll always go back and reply later on so you can get answers. Got a little bubble. Let me get that bubble popped out of there. There we go. All right. Still feel like there's a bubble embedded in there. Just the way it's glowing, I can kind of see what's going on the inside of it. It's all right. Alrighty. And let's add ice cream. So where we at right now? Let's add some chocolate. Chocolate. This, I haven't worked with this one very much. I think it's saddle brown. I got a number on it. Oh, number. Light brown, number 444. Alright, get warm. Keep my other bead warm. On. Figure out how big my ice cream cone is going to be. Is it a small, a medium, or a large? Man, best ice cream up in Eldon at the dairy barn up there, and there's the Eldon Drive-In. Oh, you want ice cream, go to the Eldon Drive-In. I mean, like an ice cream cone that's $2, you get like a gallon of ice cream on top of it. So good. Something I shouldn't be eating. In the summertime, I just can't resist it. So good. Alright, so basically I've got kind of that going. Whatever you want to call that. Okay, let's finish off that top. Even it out. Alrighty. And I'm going to go a little swipe around the bottom of the chocolate. I could go ahead and do this. Do my swirls. Alright, I could do the natural look. Right? Or, again, my favorite. Get it nice and warm. Cut in my swirl. Oh yeah. Oh, that looks good enough to eat. Now, get a tungsten pick. Doesn't stick to glass. I'm going to just take a little bit here, spot heat it, and pull it down, because you gotta have ice cream that drips down the cone. I can kind of nudge it. You know it's good when it's dripping down the cone. There we go. How's that? I think we're going to call it good. Throw it in the kiln. Yeah, that looks good. Thanks for playing in my studio with me today, gang. What should I make? Just made the ice cream cone. Should we make a butterfly? I've been making lots of butterflies. They're my goals, my 100 goal. So this was yesterday's batch. Oops, sorry, turn it the right way. Yellow butterflies, a purple butterfly for Dina, and a colorful butterfly. I've been kind of into butterflies. They make me happy. Happy, happy, happy. Okay, so butterfly. And then I'll probably take a break. Let me see if I can show you here real quick. I have a hot plate, or a coffee mug warmer. Can you see that? Where is it? My screen is really low. There, anyway. And on there, I have, totally messed up my screen for y'all now. That's okay. It's hot, and I had made some of the little wings. So, let me get back over here. I have, I believe, Karen Leonardo pedal pushers or pedal pullers. I've got the small one and the large one. I think she has a YouTube video out there too of how she makes her butterflies. I make mine just a little bit different than she does. That's okay. So anyway, to make the pretty little wings that I use, I've got some frit here. This is Glass Diversions Prism. It's COE 96, and it's just a very pretty multicolor mixture of glass that's been all broken up. And I gotta decide, I think I'll just do a clear base behind it. Let me see so I can show you. So I make, in this case, a clear base, and I attach the wings onto it, and then I put the body and the antenna. But that's what they will look like. Can you see how pretty that is? Without showing you with a light behind it, it's hard to see. So let's see if we can make one of those live without glass popping all over the place. So I'll show you how I make a wing. I can use a base of a color, like I could do a purple, but with the frit that I'm going to be putting on it, you really don't see a lot of the base color anyway. So I just am going to use a clear rod. And notice this has been cooled off quickly, so it's got a crack in it, so it may pop and break off, or I may be able to cheat and use it. So we'll just see what happens. Get me a mandrel. Get it warm. So I'm going to start by putting the base bead on. We have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I probably have about 15 or 20 butterflies that I've made recently. Yep, there goes a snap. Oh yeah, I'll be able to get it. Okay, let's get down to business. Turn up my oxygen a little bit here. There we go. Don't really see the base bead too much, so I'm not too concerned about it. So let's get the bead. And again, what's the rule? Always have your bead at least twice as thick as your mandrel. Otherwise it will crack. I've been thinking about doing some butterflies on a little pendant, like giving it a background. I haven't made one of those yet. Right now I'm just putting it on just a round barrel bead. Alrighty, get this evened up here. You'll notice I use the side of my marver quite a bit to make sure the base is nice and level. Alright, round it up. Is he okay? Come on in a little closer. I'm going to get rid of comments so I can see. There we go. Alright, that's a pretty good view, isn't it? There we go. Bing. Hello people, I can talk to you until we get done. Got a little air bubble in there. Can you see that? Guess where the butterfly is going to go? To cover it up. Haha. To cover it up. Haha. For all of those of you watching me that don't know me, what you see is what you get, so like it or lump it. Miss Julia has given me, never mind, I can't say on TV or on video. She has helped me grow anatomy. Yes, I just said that out loud. Alrighty. Let's see if we can make a butterfly. I am going to use my, what are these, titanium? I don't know, I'm going to have to look it up. And I'm going to start with the bottom. And again, I'm going to get it hot. I've got to have both of them hot. And if the wing that I had made last night, if it's not hot, it's going to crack and pop apart, just like what you've seen with the other bead earlier. But I'm going to get this hot. Both of them have to be red hot. And I'm going to attach it. Hold it for a second. Alright, there it is. Now the other wing. Actually, let's position that a little bit. Warm it up a little. I'm going to angle it down out of the way. There we go. The glass is really pliable. You can do all kinds of great things with it. Alrighty. I'm going to switch hands. Thank goodness I'm ambidextrous. Again, hopefully this won't pop and crack since it's been sitting there overnight on the hot plate. Get both of them hot. And your torch is your tool, so you can really dial down spot heat if you want. I'm also going to use... Alright. Stick her on. Got to really make sure that they are stuck well. Both pieces are hot so that they meld together. If not, they'll pop off later on when they cool off. Alright, turn my torch back up. Twirl the whole thing to get it nice and warm. not fluid, just warm. I need to keep it just under melting state, which is 1,000 degrees. Makes it pliable, but not melty. Melty, you're looking 1,200, 1,300, depending on the glass. I'm using 104, which is the softest glass. Okay, so those are my bottom wings. Let me grab a top wing. Now these don't really match up to each other too well, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna get that hot. It's got a little tail there, so I'm gonna kind of get rid of that. Figure out which way I want the top to be. Dial down again so I can spot heat. And I'm going to put that right there. Okay, dial up. Keep the whole thing hot. If you've ever watched somebody working in a glory hole and doing glass blowing, you'll notice their work time is about 30 seconds, and then you'll see them go back and reheat again, and that's just because if it gets too cold, it will pop and crack. So you'll see them running back and forth with about 30 seconds of work time in between. Alright, and again, because I'm working on the other side, I'm going to use my left hand. Again, we hope to be doing classes. I've got both boro and soft glass. Most of the classes will probably start off with soft glass, and I might do some boro. We don't know yet. Alrighty, let's get this dial down. Spot heat where I want this wing to go. Got a little bit of shakes going on. A little too much coffee maybe. Alright, there's my butterfly. So I'm going to make sure that's all nice and soft. Now I can start twisting, shaping, touching, manipulating. Right now I'm just trying to get where that body is. Alright. Okay, that's what we've got so far. Clear base bead. Let's dial this back up again. Everything warmed up. That's very pretty, isn't it? Okay, get these out of the way so I can work these. I'm lucky enough to be ambidextrous, or maybe I've just learned to be ambidextrous, so I switch back and forth. I guess I try to primarily be right-handed because that's the majority of what people are, and so when I'm teaching I try to teach that way, but I can do either way. Okay, now what I'm doing is I am actually getting these wings pretty darn close to hot, to glowing. You can see they're pretty warm right now, pretty close to fluid. And I'm twirling it so that it's hot on the back and on the front, both sides. I'm going to take my small petal pushers. I could use my tweezers if I wanted to, or my really small tweezers. It really doesn't matter. The small tweezers, the glass seems to stick to them more, so I don't like using them as well. Alright, let's get a wing pulled. So I'm getting it one wing, both sides, nice and hot. Give it a gentle pull. And there's one wing. And I'm going to melt that down a little bit and let gravity pull it down and put a nice little twist on it. Pretty! The wing turned out nice. Okay, I want to make sure I keep everything warm, including that base bead. Alright, next one. This is the hard part. Getting it saying a prayer that they both turn out the same. I'm going to melt that down a little bit. And there it is. That's what takes practice, is getting both wings to look basically the same. Not quite the same. This one's got a little more loop on the side, but I'm not going to fret over it. Okay, I could leave it like that. That's kind of pretty, but I'm not. I'm getting one of the bottom wings. Touch and pull. There we go. Yeah, I make it look a little easier than it really is. That's only because I've done about 15 or 20 in the last couple weeks. I don't know, I have to count them. Again, getting both sides warm. Touch, pull. Not quite. There we go. 2 tries on that one. There it is. What do you think? Now some of these colors you can't really see because they're hot. Alright, now I gotta find my black for the butterfly bodies. Okay. There's black. Black. I think I'll use a stringer. Let's start off. This stringer's a little bit smaller. Black. Make sure it's nice and warm yet. Keep that base bead warm. Alright. And I'm just going to get this warm. And I've got my wings up there warm. I'm just going to take it, draw it up, and put a little antenna on it. You see that? Alright. Ooh, look at what I did. Got him in the flame. See it? I melted my wing. Alright, let's fix that. There we go. Make that shorter. Let's take some of that one off. Okay, got it. Okay. A little gloppy. Make a little more. There we go. I stuck my rod in my glass, or my water. Yep. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Gotta love the live feeds. Can't be afraid of live feeds. So there's my antennas. Again, twirl him, keep him warm. You don't want these cracking and popping off, especially the thin parts, the butterfly wings, because they're so thin, they will pop off a lot easier. And you know what? Because I had to shorten those big wings when I melted one, I'm going to shorten the bottom ones. And I'm just putting a little heat on it. There we go. There, shorten it up a little bit. Anal retentive, sorry. Alright, let's make sure that base bead's warm. Make sure the wings are warm without melting. Everything's looking good. I'm going to dial down where I want that body to go. I want it to be nice and warm. Let's get the black. just going to melt that black right down the seam. Another one. And let's do one more swipe. Alright. Now gravity works with glass. Oops, there it is. Okay. So because I was putting it on and gravity was pulling it down, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put it in my other hand, melt it a little bit, and that's going to bring that down a little bit and level it off. I can also use my paring knife if I want to move it. If I want to put dissects in, make it, give it a little head or whatever, I can do that. And just kind of manipulating this one antenna here. Since the other one's curved in a little bit, I curved that one in a little bit, so it's a little more symmetric. Okay, let's get that flame up a little warmer, and again twirl it, keep everything nice and fluid and warm. Keep that base bead warm. Alright. Sometimes you gotta learn to say stop. You can pick at it all day long. Thinking I like it. You'll notice I dodge in and out of the heat. Just kind of spot heating that black body. Twist there. Oh, I like it. This was a very nice butterfly. There it is. You see it? Don't put my hand in the flame. There you go. Going in the kiln. It'll be ready tomorrow. Alright, gang. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to take a break and maybe come back and make a marble or something. Don't know what. Maybe something with the twisty. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Bye.